I don't know. I feel like Tracklib has a chance here to really take over the sample game if they do it right. It really comes down to, is the price right for what you're getting, you know? All right, what's up, y'all? My name is Justin. My producer name is Nene Music. If you're new here or it's your first time on the channel, I'm a sample-based producer, primarily hip hop, boom bap, based out of New York here. Today, I wanted to try and take y'all through Tracklib and some of the new offerings that they got. Based on this new pricing model that they have, explore a little bit, see what they have to offer, see some of the new sounds that they're trying to push and build off of, and compare it to Splice, which I think is probably its biggest competitor. They're very similar as far as just like structure. You're doing a subscription type model with both of them, but I think there's a few really cool things that Tracklib is trying to offer now that can go head to head with what Splice has and really be a true competitor and match up to songs, samples, melodies that Splice has had to offer for a while. When I saw this new pricing update, I started to think, well, maybe I don't need Splice that much anymore. I'm in a middle period where I'm using both, but I may choose one or the other at some point. So if I'm going through it, I'm sure there's other people who are trying to do the comparison too. Welcome if you're here, and yeah, let's get into it. All right, y'all. Yeah, I think we set up here. I'm gonna just do a quick overview of what Tracklib is. This is the homepage here that you're gonna land in once you kind of got your subscription. Everything's all set up. I think the first thing that just makes sense is probably to just go through how it works. First thing I do want to mention also before I get into any of this is not a sponsored video from Tracklib. I'm not getting any money from Tracklib. I'm not kind of paid to say anything good about either of these services. I've obviously used Splice more, so I have more insight there, but just based kind of first opinions, what exactly we're offering here in Tracklib. So yeah, Tracklib, they market themselves as just a subscription service for producers, giving them access to songs, royalty-free sounds, and sounds that you can actually license and not get copyrighted or kind of struck down because you're using a licensed song from like a label. Me, I've never really used it only because, it just wasn't attractive to me at the time because of the plans and pricing. But with this new update, I feel like there's some things that could be of use for me as a producer and trying to release music, at that level. This new section that they have, which I'll scroll down to, is the sounds library. This is what I'm talking about when I'm saying they're now comparable in a way to Splice because they offer one shots as well as melodies, loops that you can pull from. These will be 100% royalty free, and you can use these as is, pitch them, do whatever you want without having to license them. Yeah, that's the overview. Really quick on the pricing itself. Like I mentioned, they have this light pricing model, which is $9 a month, 125 credits a month, which honestly I think is really all you need if you go monthly. And this is that model that I was talking about, the 50 to, I didn't even realize 1500. It's a very steep price tag to pay in order to license a song. So samples are separated by these categories, A, B, C. I'm gonna just pull this sample at the bottom that I have. You'll see this one is license C. That means you're gonna be paying, one of the base pricings for using that sample in a beat or a song that you're creating. Now to go into these new pricing models that they have. So Premium, which is the pricing model that I have right now, $15 a month. You get 375 credits monthly, and if you're downloading an entire song, which is all of the stems combined, it'll run you about 5 credits. Unlimited releases, no sample clearance fee. You can release as many songs as you want, and you don't have to pay a fee for each song that you're trying to use in any of your beats. The additional part, again, that's comparable to Splice is this sounds access, one shots and loops. I think that's really cool, especially with the type of community that I think Tracklib is catered to. This is really kind of pulling in a lot of people and may pull a lot of people from Splice into Tracklib. So finally, the max section. The only differences here are about how much how many credits you're getting each month, 650. I guess $5 more a month. And if you really want that security of like, oh, I'm gonna run out of samples or whatever, then this may be for you. I'm gonna pull up Splice now and their pricing models just to do a quick comparison. So the plan that I have is the $9.99 per month plan. For $10 a month, you're getting 100 credits. For $5, $4 more, $5 more, you're getting a lot more monthly credits. And again, you don't have to pay those clearance fees, and you have access to those one shots and loops. Now, granted, Splice has a lot more to choose from, which I think for a lot of people is, they rather have the quantity. Whereas in Tracklib, which I'll show, there's a very specific type of sound that you're getting from here, and I think that you can trust to get. But the quantity is a lot less. So, for some people, that's a little scarier. For me, Tracklib right now is the more attractive, library because of the type of sounds and the type of sampling that I do specifically. So, all right, this is the new sound section in Tracklib. There's only 3 tabs here right now. So there's this Discover page that you're going to land on, really where you'll just see a variety of what they have, exclusive packs that they're going to highlight, some of the more popular sample packs, newly added, and then the featured labels. The all sound section is where you're just going to see just a dump of all of the sounds that they have available. As far as filtering and, okay, I want to find a specific sound, you have your filter by instrument, by key, BPM, and whether or not it's a one shot or loop. The one additional thing that is not in Tracklib that Splice has is a search, enter kind of string or enter a text to search by. So for example, I'm going to take, the instrument section. I'm looking for a specific percussion, right? Let's say I want to search for a conga sound that I want in my beat. If I go to percussion, I can maybe find the conga and control F, and then go from here, from these search criterias. And now I have a conga sound, which is cool. If I go through this top filter, I don't believe the sound sections is connected, because if I type conga, I don't have anything that pops up from the sound section. I got the songs and then an artist, which I guess he plays conga. If I wanted something quick and I'm just trying to get it, like, oh man, like I got the artist behind me, I'm creating a beat and I don't want to lose time, I don't want to lose the flow, I need a conga, I can do that very easily in Splice. If I just type conga into their high search filter, I'm going to get a conga sound. And, then I can go and get specific with the criteria here. Tracklib doesn't have that. Maybe I'm not used to it because I'm used to Splice. Again, I've been using it for some time, so I'm familiar with that workflow, but maybe this is just something that I got to get used to, And then finally in the sound section, you got sample packs. This is where all the sounds in that all sound section that will be associated to a certain pack. Yeah, a lot of drum sounds. Again, the only thing here is there's no search where I can be like, oh, I want a drum sound with a drum break. I can't search that. I would have to look and say, okay, this looks like a drum pack. But I can't really know until I click into it. The only filters that they offer here are the label, which, again, unless you really know labels like that, this doesn't really matter to me as far as search. Unless I've used these samples before. Same thing, producer. I'm not going to be searching by this. So these 2 search criteria, they don't really mean anything to me right now. Maybe the more I use Tracklib, the better it'll become. But I think the one thing that they're missing in all of these sections is just a high level search bar that you can type in something, some kind of instrument, and it'll have it be connected to whatever the sample is. Maybe there's some tags or filters within that sound that when you search something, it'll pop up, and it's a lot easier workflow wise. It's a lot quicker, especially if you're pulling samples while you're making that beat. The workflow that I think would probably be good to adopt if you have the setup that Tracklib has now is you're going to have to do digging before you start making the beat. I really want to have the accessibility to pull samples while I'm making the beat and having it be fast, where I'm not trying to search for something for, even 10 minutes, I think is too long, So yeah, that's this new sound section. I think right now it's pretty bare bones. Like I can scroll through the whole thing. We'll see how they expand it and see what other producers they may get to add their packs in. But there is a lot of variety here, which is cool. Not as much as Splice. I think Splice still has the one up on quantity, but for starting out, I think this is pretty solid. So now I'm gonna go through the sound. Excuse me. I'm gonna go through the song section in Tracklib. This is what they've always had. I don't want to go too deep into it. I'm sure there's plenty of other YouTube videos taking you through Tracklib. But in short, they have songs that you can pull from, live songs that are real and kind of published or released under a label. You can pull a song and pull the master of the song. But let's say you only really like the bass of the song, you can pull just that. And Tracklib has the option for that bass to be, split into stems. With all this AI stuff, this may, kind of phase the benefit of this feature out, where you can just throw the song in AI and have everything split out. But I do think the quality of having the stems is going to always be better than having it split by the AI. So in the song section, I think what's really cool, and as far as workflow goes, is this collections section. This is where you'll see samples split into different collections, separated by genre, separated by just like the type of sounds. Some of these separated by producer. The inspired collections section is where I guess Tracklib, they have a team that'll take samples that are available in the library already and put them into a collection based on an artist. So they have collections for people like Nujabes, which you can pull samples from here. If you want to make K-Tronada type beats, you could pull them from there and get influence there. If you want to see me try and make a beat using one of these collections, let me know. I think that'd be a cool video. And then as far as searching goes, you have your high level search up here. You can also search by genre, by artist, and by label. I don't know. In summary, I think Tracklib, they have a lot of cool features from, what their traditional model is. This collections, I think is a really cool way to spark influence and spark just like creativity when you're in a rut. You're just, oh man, let me look at the collection. Let me find something that kind of sparks my interest. That digging by yourself on YouTube or digging in a record store, you don't really get that. So there's a one up using Tracklib. In addition to that, there's also these sound sections now that you have, which is really cool. But again, very bare bones right now. We'll see how it grows in the coming months. Is this a direct competitor to Splice? Yes and no. Splice still has its pocket that it can be beneficial for a lot of producers. With new things that Tracklib is offering at its new pricing model, I think Tracklib may be the more attractive option for a specific type of producer. EDM, house, I still think Splice may have the one up, but Tracklib is notorious for sticking with that hip hop, boom bap, and I think that's really cool to have things curated specifically for that sound. But yeah, I think overall that's really the comparison. Let me know if you guys enjoyed this video. Again, not sponsored by any of these services. If you do want to go and support, I do have a link down for both Tracklib and Splice. Feel free to use that link to sign up for either of these services. Specifically with Tracklib, you'll get a 30-day free trial and 100 credits just off the bat to download whatever samples that you want. You'll help support me. If it doesn't work out, you can always cancel. But if y'all want to, continue, follow along, go ahead, like, subscribe, and check out for more videos, more beats coming pretty soon. Appreciate y'all. Deuces.